Hello? Anyone here? I got your message. Where's the light switch?
Greetings.
Oh, hi there.
You must be Moxxie.
Yeah, and you're James, I presume?
Yes, I am. Where is your wife? I invited her as well.
Oh, Millie is off visiting her family in Wrath. She apologizes for not being able to make it.
I see. Well, there's no reason our meeting needs to be halted.
So, mind if I ask a question?
Go on.
That rat thing who visited us, was it working for you?
Yes, that was Ivan.
My boss didn't tell me what it was about, but you sent us a sizable amount of money. Could you please explain?
I met with Blitz to talk, but our meeting had a loud finale. The money was a promise I made for his time.
Oh, I get it now.
Any other questions?
Just one more, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
The letter you sent to me and Millie, it told us where to meet you and when, but the why was a little confusing. I understood enough, but I was hoping you could shed some more light on it.
Of course. I asked you to meet with me so I could better understand the thought process of I.M.P kind. My meeting with your employer left me intrigued and curious to learn more about the different species in Hell. You're doing me a big favor by talking with me.
Well, I'm glad I could help. I'm guessing from that X on your neck that you're a sinner?
You'd be correct.
So, what would you like to know?
First, what can I do to make you more comfortable? Refreshments, music, anything.
What kind of music do you have?
I have orchestra from the classical period, romantic, contemporary. I have opera, smooth jazz.
That's a very classy selection.
Thank you.
Why don't we try opera?
Any particular artist or singer?
I'm not picky. Anything works.
Very well. You picked my favorite genre. Lucky you.
Thanks.
Anything to drink?
Oh, thank you, but I'm good.
All right. All I have is water anyway. Let's get started.
Let's.
I'd like to begin by discussing your role in I.M.P. What are your responsibilities and contributions to the company?
Oh, well, I like to think I'm a weapons expert. I also do basic management whenever Blitz needs me to. Things like paperwork and money handling occasionally.
I see. Your employer mentioned how you are quite the marksman.
He did?
Yes. He complimented your abilities with firearms.
That's nice to hear.
Would you say you have a favorite kind of weapon?
Not really, but you can't go wrong with a good old-fashioned pistol. It's reliable, you can conceal it easily, and it'll get any job done that needs a target eliminated.
How about long-range ballistics, such as sniper rifles?
I've got no problem with using them. Why do you ask?
Just curious. What's your most impressive feat with a rifle?
That's a toughie. Oh, there was this one mission near the start of my career at I.M.P. Blitz and I were tasked with killing a guy in a pretty populated area. It was pretty much impossible to get it close undetected. So, I found a spot from a reasonable distance, set up the gun, adjusted the scope, and bang.
How did you become so efficient with that kind of weaponry?
I had a lot of experience and practice growing up.
I understand this is hell, but what kind of environment requires a boy to learn such skills?
Bad one. Let's just leave it at that.
Fair enough. And now you employ those skills into your missions with I.M.P.
As best as I can.
Do you feel there's anything which requires improvement with the company as a whole?
There's a few things, but overall I can't really complain. Only thing which could use some tweaking is Blitz's professionalism. He can act impulsively and childish sometimes.
Does that ever make you question if this job is right for you?
Well, see, it's kind of a hard question. Yeah, Blitz can be irritating sometimes, and the job gets challenging occasionally. But it's one of the only places I can do what I'm best at. And the same goes for Millie. She's so incredibly gifted, and her abilities were being wasted before she joined the company.
Did you two work together before joining the company?
Oh, no. We met after Millie joined I.M.P.
So, if it weren't for Blitz, neither of you would have met.
I guess you could say that.
How long have you two been married?
A little over a year. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary a bit ago at Ozzy's.
Ozzy's?
It's a sort of club in the Lust Ring run by Osmodius.
Interesting. Back to your role in the company. How did you meet Blitz?
Oh, it's a long story.
We've got time.
We met in a prison cell. After being thrown in, I met Blitz, who was already there. He told me about his plans to escape, and the rest is history. I joined him in I.M.P. and then met Millie later on.
You said a prison cell?
Yeah, it's a part of my past that I want to avoid discussing.
Are you sure? It might give you an opportunity to reflect.
Don't coax me.
That kind of information would be very helpful, though. We can start out slowly and stop if you become uncomfortable.
Why is it important to you? Why is knowing about my past a priority?
The same thing I tell everyone. I want to learn what makes a demon tick. If you prefer, we can end this here and pick up again where we left off next time.
Crumbs. Is there no talking you out of this?
You kill people for money, have unprecedented skills with deadly weapons, have a wife with a similar ability set as yours, and live in hell where imps are the most disrespected and oppressed species. To say you're uninteresting is a straight lie. Knowing about where you come from and how it all started is par for the course. This is what I do. I record and archive. Someone has to be here to keep it all on record.
You have a noble mission. I was raised by one of the biggest crime families in the Greed Ring. My father, Crimson, always was hard on me, pushing me to go into the family business and mold me into a man by his standards. My mother had opposite intentions. She wanted me to have a peaceful upbringing and to keep me away from my father's dealings with the mafia and such. But my father heavily disagreed with my mother about this. Constantly. Some nights I'd go to sleep listening to them shouting at each other, and it sometimes escalated to more. One day, my mother seemed to vanish. I was just a boy, too naive and stupid to realize what happened. From that point on, Crimson was on his own to raise me. While I remembered a few things my mother taught me, Dad was always quick to make me do things his way. I learned how to kill with nearly every weapon I can get my hands on. I was taught how to interrogate, how to resist it, how to hide bodies, dispose of evidence, everything. One day, I was on a heist with an old associate of mine. It went south and he betrayed me. I was captured and thrown in prison. There
You met Blitz.
When he and I escaped, we left Greed, and I swore to never come back. Not to the Mafia, or my father.
Quite an origin story. That'll do, thank you.
And this stays between you and me?
Correct. Are you feeling alright?
I'm fine. Just a little chilly is all.
I believe we've talked long enough for today. Thank you again for your time.
No problem.
And Moxxie? I would like to request you keep this meeting between us private. Do not discuss it with Blitz or anyone else besides Millie. For consistency.
I won't.
I shall contact you again soon.
Wait.
Yes?
I'm still kind of confused. When you asked me about my experience with weapons, you specifically chose snipers. Why not things like shotguns or assault rifles?
A personal interest. I have a small fascination with them. Most are more familiar with the feeling of holding the rifle itself, but being on the other end is completely different. Imagine death flying towards you at such speeds that you cannot see or hear it coming. You're beside a loved one or a friend. Then the silence of the air is broken by the sound of a dull thud. You look over to your companion to see what that noise was, but they're gone. They do not have the chance to see or hear their doom flying towards them from a distance that cannot be pinpointed by ears. You only have a few seconds to think about your life together, what you wanted to say to them, how much you still had planned. But before you have the chance to blink, before another action potential fires in your brain, you join them in the afterlife, never having the chance to hear a single bang.
I never thought about it that way. Is that how you...
Died? No. Just something I enjoy pondering on every now and then.
Why tell me this?
For your consideration. And for you to realize what it means for someone when a target is placed on their back. Either they witness demons coming to butcher them, or they are immediately plunged into darkness before waking up either here or in heaven. Either way, their lives are changed forever. But don't let me discourage you from doing your job. By all means, do what you must to survive. It's what everyone does. It's just that some are better at it than others. My only request for you is to continue what you do and live every day like it's your last. After all, there's always a chance that it could be, and you wouldn't even know.
I already do, sir. It's why I cherish every day with my Millie.
Oh, before you go, I wanted some advice from you.
What is it?
I plan to meet with a very interesting subject soon. What can you tell me about hellhounds?
I don't know what advice to give. They're all unique like imps. I don't think they're any different from sinners, actually. Just treat them fairly like you would anyone else, I say.
I shall consider that. Thank you.
Until later.
Hello?
James? It is the corrector. We think his voice box is nearly finished.
Good. Also, what did I say about calling subject 099 a he? That thing isn't it.
Alright, sorry.
How soon will the voice transmitter be fully operational?
If the workers don't sleep, maybe 18 hours?
As soon as it's done, call me.
Will do. Oh, and how did the meeting with Moxxie go?
Subject 104's meeting went smoothly. Much better than his employer's. Any other updates on Subject 099's behavior?
Sorry, it's calm for now. We have discovered that it seems to like the sounds of birds.
Interesting. Tell me more later. I have to go.
Of course, bye.